Okay, so how are we doing today? Come on, guys, let's just talk a bit. I'll definitely introduce myself again, and I would love to know who you are, where you're from. So if in the chat box you can mention the city that you're from, and also what trimester of your pregnancy you're in, or your due date, anything that will help you better. Please share the details in the chat box, or you are more than welcome to unmute yourselves and talk about it. Hi Prithvi, how are you doing today?
Hi Parul, I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, absolutely wonderful. So happy to see you here today, and happy that everything is going well on your end. And let's just see, today's whole session will also give you a lot of information about how to mold your diet, which I've already given you the details of.
Yeah.
Hi Ankita, how are you?
Hi Parul, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Absolutely wonderful. So everything's going well at your end, all the tests and everything?
Yes, I had my anomaly scan last week. So just that I have one symptom, that is low-lying placenta. So but
at this stage, around 20 weeks, low-lying placenta is not at all a problem. Placenta keeps moving throughout the pregnancy. So only suggestion for you at this point in time would be to take it a little slow. Then there is low-lying placenta. There's nothing like, you cannot exercise, you cannot walk or anything. It's just that make sure you are not putting a lot of jerk on your body, right? So sudden movements should be avoided. And basic yoga, you can always do that. It's absolutely fine. Cat camel and all those exercises that I shared with you, that should be okay.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
And that will also help your placenta to grow up as well. So don't worry about it at this point in time. We'll dive into nutrition.
Have increased a lot in a few weeks.
I couldn't get you. Could you repeat again, please?
My sitting hours have been increased due to work from home since past 2-3 weeks. So I have been experiencing a severe pain in my vagina region.
Yes, it would happen if you're sitting for longer periods, because now is the time that the baby is putting some stress on the uterus already, right? Mm-hmm. And that stress, if in case you're sitting for a longer period of time, it will hamper your pelvic region as well. But now what I would suggest to you once again would be that use some Pomodoro method on your system. Once you're at a stretch sitting for like 25 minutes, take out 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes to simply stand and walk a bit. Then keep your feet uplifted a little, right? Soak your legs in warm water with salt every evening before going to bed. So that will also help you, because now what will happen is if you keep sitting like this for longer periods of time, you might even develop, everybody does develop some sort of swelling during pregnancy, but it might be increased for you because our blood level and blood volume and water and fluid intake increases during pregnancy. So that is the reason that we need to keep let the blood keep flowing. And if you're sitting for a longer time, then the blood flow is majorly in the lower area. So it doesn't flow very well. So we need to enhance that. Start sleeping on the left side. I think your doctor must have told you about it by now.
Yeah.
So start sleeping on the left side. Make a conscious effort to do that, but don't fret about it much, because there was this client of mine, she was scared to sleep because every time she was sleeping on her back, she was not used to sleep on sides, and one of them was used to sleeping on their stomach. So believe me, till the time you're comfortable doing that, it's fine. Because at some point in time, pregnancy itself, your body itself will tell you that, no, I'm not comfortable with this. And you will turn into the position which you should be in. Okay. So thank you so much for being here. Others, hi Snehal, how are you?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, I'm good. How about you?
You're from Maharashtra. Oh,
yeah.
Hi. I'm absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us today. You're not pregnant and you're a mother of 3-year-old. Amazing. I'm a mother of 2.6-year-old and 1.6-year-old. Imagine my life.
Yeah.
And you're a part of your husband's nursing home. He's just amazing.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So, Jyoti, let's get to know you. Where are you from? Are you pregnant? What trimester you were in?
Hi, I'm Jyoti. I'm from Delhi, and I have a 9-year-old daughter, and I'm pregnant and a half months.
Wow, amazing. Congratulations. And I've been, like all my life, I've spent in Delhi. All my education and everything is from Delhi. So I miss Delhi. Yeah. Great. Now I'm in Kolkata. But yeah, I miss Delhi badly, especially the food. So, Pooja. Hi, Pooja. How are you?
Hi, Parul. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm absolutely wonderful. So, where are you from and
So
are you
I'm
pregnant?
I'm from Mumbai, and it's my initial, like my first trimester. So just trying to get to know things,
But at the
learn.
right spot. You know what? What I feel, I mean, this is collectively to all you ladies. What I feel is our whole system of dealing with pregnancy and something, it's kind of opposite. I'm a mom, 2 times mom. So from my perspective, I think it's opposite. Ideally, more visits should ideally be in the beginning of the pregnancy so that you can inform the person what to eat, what not to eat. Take care of the person from a point of view wherein you give a lot of information to the person so that all the complications could be avoided in the beginning itself. But what happens is usually, like all over the world, the structure is in a manner that you increase your visitation in the last months of pregnancy to make sure the baby is doing well, you are doing well. But by then, all the complications, whatever have to develop, have developed. And somehow then there is only managing those complications. There is no preventing those complications. And during the first trimester also, regarding diet, regarding exercise, regarding nutrition, there are a lot of myths surrounding these topics, and there is a lot of misinformation, especially in our country, is what I have experienced and seen, because I have been doing this for last 2 years now, and I've seen people struggling with even eating favorite food like banana or brinjal just because they've heard that if they have brinjal, the baby would be darker in shade, and if they have banana, they'll gain a lot of weight. So things like that are there. So I'm just trying to help you out, figure it at this stage itself, that how to go forward with your pregnancy, nutrition, and care journey. So I think I've spoken to each and every one of you. I've spoken to Snehal, Ankita, I've spoken to Pooja, spoken to Jyoti. I've spoken to you, right?
Yes, you have.
Yeah. Yes. So who's left? I think someone's left. Anybody left? No. I've spoken to you. Great. So let's just start this session. So first of all, thank you so much. Thank you so much with closed hands that you have chosen to spend some time with me, because ideally I did not ask for anything else other than time. And I'm grateful that you've given me this time so that I can be of help and value to you. And I can increase something in your life, uplift you from where you are into something better. Maybe just help you understand some of the anxieties that you have during pregnancy, what to eat, what not to eat, and stuff like that. Or maybe more mindful about how you eat during your pregnancy. So thank you so much for giving me this time and trusting me. Now, the next question is, why the hell should you listen to me? As in, who am I, right? So some of you might be knowing me, some of you might not be knowing me. So I'll just give you a quick intro for a minute, if that's okay with you. Is it okay with you? Give me a yes or a no. We will keep it interactive because I just don't like boring sessions. Yeah, so is it okay if I can let you know about me, my experience, and who am I in a minute or so? Great. Thank you. Absolutely, yeah. Interactive is fun. Yeah. So the thing is, my name is Parul Mishra. I am the founder of Shaping Motherhood. I am a 2-time mom. I did everything right during my first pregnancy, as in, at least I thought I did everything right. And somehow I had gestational diabetes, I had thyroid, I had a C-section. After going through Lamaze and hypnobirthing sessions as well, I eventually ended up on a C-section table, which was not really needed, now that I reflect upon it, right? But then social pressures and everything, it just played a big role into it, and then I ended up on a C-section. I struggled for pregnancy for like almost 5 to 6 years, and I traveled all around the world looking for a cure for infertility, because mine was unexplained. No doctor could explain why exactly am I not able to get pregnant. But then I tried a couple of alternative healing resources, and somehow I turned up pregnant. And within a year itself, like my daughter was 5 months old, and I got to know that I'm pregnant again, which was really stupid, silly, and amazing at the same time, because I always wanted 2 kids. And my doctor said that, you have, endometriosis. So you should plan as soon as possible. But the second pregnancy, I didn't even know that I was pregnant for almost like 2 months. I was 2 months pregnant and I had no idea about it. It was so peaceful and so calming. Why? Because first thing first, I had already been pregnant, so maybe my body knew what to do. And I had learned a lot during that time. As a mother, I enrolled myself into Dr. C.S. Wellness Coaching Institute to understand more about nutrition and pregnancy, because I thought that's the first step to do it. Before this, I had a very good lucrative career with American Express, but then that was not something that I was passionate about. So I understood that I'm very passionate about motherhood and children, kids, and more than that, I'm passionate about my own problems, right? So I just wanted to solve them at that point in time. I enrolled into this course. And then the next pregnancy, just 5 months later, I had no gestational diabetes. I had no hypothyroidism issue. Like, it was not out of control. I had thyroid for a long time, but it was not out of control. And then I had a happy, healthy baby as well, because first baby that was born to me, my daughter, she had severe bilirubin levels and she had to be admitted to phototherapy. I mean, it was a big problem for me at that point in time. And then now that I'm out of it, I feel awesome about it because I'm a warrior and I'm out of it. But then I do feel that there were certain things that I could have done better to avoid it. And hence, I'm here to help you understand what else you could do better to make sure that your baby's healthy, you are healthy, you are able to lose weight post-pregnancy, which I'm still working on. My son is just 1.5, so I'm still working on that, and I'm taking one step at a time to do that as well. But eventually, I realized Lamaze, hypnobirthing, and all that stuff didn't help me. So I thought, what will help me? I stumbled upon this Birthing from Within Coaching Institute, which is a childbirth education institution, wherein they tell you about your emotional and physical strength to give birth to a baby. Like, there's no external stimulation to tell you what to do, what not to do. They will rather want you to find it out yourself, that what is it what is it that makes you comfortable during labor and during childbirth. So that approach is something that I really liked, and I had never seen anything like that. So first I joined their course. I am a childbirth educator with them right now. And then since my breastfeeding journey was pretty difficult, I became a lactation counselor as well. So everything I did was actually to help myself, right? But then what? I realized that if I share this with people, I've already gotten the certifications, why not help other moms? Because any which ways, my doctor's clinic, almost half of the ladies that I saw them are already my friends, and I help them during their birthing journey. So my husband literally pushed me into this, that, Carol, do this rather than going back to your job. Just do this. You're so passionate about it. You're talking to women at 2 in the night. What are you doing? What are you talking about? I said, she's having labor pains. I'm just helping her. And that is what has brought me here. And I'm doing these free sessions just to raise some awareness about this and make you people realize that if you do this, it will be amazing for you and your pregnancy. So how many of you resonate that whatever we eat, we are made up of whatever we eat? We are born, then our mother feeds us, then we start having food and stuff. But what is it, that one energy source that keeps us going apart from water, sun, and extra elements? It's the food that we eat, right? So whatever we are eating, we are made up of it. So let me just quickly pull up this beautiful slide that I've created, because apparently it will be good for you guys to actually take some screenshots if you want, because I've created something really nice here and I've put in a lot of effort. So I hope this helps. How to ensure your baby is healthy by eating right. This is the title of the course that we are going to do today, which is going to last somewhere around 1 hour to 1.5 hours. And then if you want to have any Q&A sessions, I'm all available. Okay. Sounds about right? Yes, no, maybe? Is it okay? Should we begin into this amazing journey of pregnancy and nutrition? Come on, guys, give me a yes. Unmute and say yes. Shout on top of your voice. Yes. Okay. Let's go ahead with it. So I'll start with this beautiful shlok. I don't know Sanskrit much, so I can't read it word by word and it won't be a justice, but I can translate this for you, which says that a lamp eats darkness and produces black soot. What food quality one eats daily, so will one produce. And that is very true for the kids as well. So whatever we are eating has a very big impact on our child. There was this study done called the carrot juice study. Under this study, there were two sets of women who were both pregnant at similar stages. One was given a carrot juice to have daily throughout their pregnancy, and the other one was not. Once their kids were 6 months old, both the kids were introduced with carrot flavored kids cereal. So what the researchers were amazed to see was that the women who had carrot juice throughout their pregnancy, their babies loved the carrot flavored cereal, and the other group, it was not that much. They were, some of them accepted it, some of them didn't. But 99% of kids in this group, wherein the carrot juice was given to them, the 99% of kids were more than happy to accept it and eat it. So now my question to you is, do you want your kids to have all the greens? I wanted them to have all the greens. I'm working a lot on that, believe me. All the fruits, all the, whatever you have, idli, dosa, sambar, and not crave for all that junk that you don't want to have, that you don't want them to have. Give me a yes or no whether you want your kids to have a variety food when they grow up, finish their plate, pick the plates and keep them the same. Do you want your kids to do that? Yes or no? Absolutely. Great. Exactly. I also want the same. And believe me, my kids do that. And why do they do that is because I ate every possible thing during my pregnancy. I did not skip on nutrients. And I made sure I taste various type of stuff, even Karela, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But then I had it only to make sure that my kids have that taste of it, right? So the thing is that there are top 3 reasons why you struggle to lose weight postpartum, and I'll also give you the solutions to it. Why exactly do we struggle to lose weight postpartum? We gain weight during pregnancy. I'll tell you where that weight goes during pregnancy that you're gaining, but most of the time, post-pregnancy weight loss has been a challenge for most of the women that I have come across. And why is that? Because I can go ahead and give you a diet or an exercise plan and routine and stuff like that to actually reduce or lose weight post-pregnancy, but why should you have to go through that? Genetics, one reason, okay, yes, I agree with it. But most importantly, it's not that. It's basically these reasons that you actually go ahead and have that. Where we go wrong is our mindset. Our mindset has a very big impact on our pregnancy as well as our eating habits. So I've heard people saying that, I'm pregnant. Let me have that tub of ice cream. For God's sake, I'm pregnant. The point is, it's okay. Once, twice, occasionally, it's okay. But binging on unhealthy food during pregnancy, like pregnancy is not a license to eat whatever you can on this earth. And thankfully for COVID, I'm seeing people eating, home cooked beans more than earlier. But then still, why to go on a binge eating, even if you're eating something that you love, why to indulge it in so much that, you think that, okay, I'm pregnant. Or maybe hormones take over, I'm craving this, I'm craving that. So mindset has a very big impact on it, that you will be like, okay, I'm pregnant, I'll lose it, I'll lose it later on, right? The second thing is your culture. So if your culture, if your family is into all the fried food, every day you're having something, sometimes we don't even realize what kind of calorific value, whatever we are eating, what kind of calorific value does it have. So if you have that way of, eating everything, the culture is like that, there are some kids in the house, they're getting chips, you're also eating some of it, cold drink is coming in, you're having parties, pizzas are coming in. So whatever it is, your culture, the way you have been brought up, because before pregnancy, we are not that vigilant about what's going inside, right? We are like normal people. That's what I would say. I was a normal person. I would eat whatever, Thele wala also or 5-star hotel also, I didn't mind. I was eating, I was fine with it. But the thing is that sometimes we need to make healthy choices, and pregnancy is the first time that you do that. Now it gets difficult with all those raging hormones and you're trying to eat clean and stuff like that. And then you are not in a habit of doing that for a long time, and then it strikes, okay? Then there are nutritional deficiencies. So all the cravings that we are having during our pregnancies and baby are because of some or the other kind of nutritional deficiency. And also our mothers were stronger enough. How many of you can say that, your mother had a normal birth and your grandmother had a normal birth and they were absolutely fit and fine, and even at a later age they are fitter than you? Sometimes you feel that, like, after my baby was born, I felt my mom is much fitter than me after my C-section, because I was like, oh my God, I can't even walk up. And this lady, she's doing so much for the baby. Another thing is they had different kind of food. I'm not saying we are having the wrong food. I'm just saying the environment was much better than back then. The land is exactly what it used to be, but the number of mouths that it is feeding has increased manifold, right? So now the land is also decreasing, right? Because now we need a house. Everybody needs a house. Everybody's dream is to have a house. So to have that dream house, somebody's land would be sold, some land would be cleared off, and then that was the land where the crop used to grow. So now to increase the crops, the fertilizer and stuff that comes in, and somehow the environment has made us weaker and weaker and weaker, and that is what is going to happen to our future generations. So pregnancy is the first step that you can take with clean and healthy eating, so that you can instill the same habits in your kids, because they need it more than anybody else, because they have Swiggy, Zomato on their fingertips. Our parents didn't have that, and somehow they are healthier, right? So that being said, what exactly do you need to do to make sure that you're completely healthy and everything goes well during your pregnancy? So the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics recommends the following key components of a healthy lifestyle during pregnancy. What is basically healthy? An appropriate weight gain. Now, what is appropriate weight gain? It completely depends on your BMI. And I'll also let you know how many kgs is okay. But then the threshold has to be there. Maximum is 12, right? Maximum is 12. So you would be knowing what kind of BMI you have, and then, we can figure it out. That's okay. A balanced diet, I'll let you know all about it. Regular exercises, you must do that. Unless and until your doctor says that you really need to lift your leg up and lie down in the hospital bed, exercising is something that you must do. What you shouldn't do is start a new exercise during pregnancy, right? You cannot think that, now that I'm pregnant, I'll start playing badminton. Now that I'm pregnant, I'll start running or jogging, or I'll train for a marathon. You cannot do that. By basic exercising, basic walking, basic yoga postures to make sure your pelvis area opens up, you must do all this during your pregnancy. This is something that will help you have a normal childbirth. It doesn't matter whether you have a normal vaginal childbirth or a C-section. What matters is how fast can you recover from both of these. They both have their own set of challenges. Do you agree with me? They both have their own set of challenges. And I don't think anything is unnatural or anything like that. It's just that what is our recovery period after everything that we go through? And how to shorten that recovery period is what we should be focusing on. Then appropriate and timely vitamin and mineral supplementation. Why vitamin and mineral supplementation? As I said, in our diet, we fail to introduce or include everything every day. And why is that so? Because our life has been such. And somehow I'm not really pro supplementation or against supplementation, but I do think it is a good idea to make sure that you're having supplementation from before pregnancy itself, some kind of prenatal multivitamins with folic acids and something like that, so that it supports your pregnancy as well. That's the first thing. And I'm sure you must be agreeing that iron tablets and calcium tablets that your doctors are prescribing during pregnancy, you can help those tablets work better on your body by increasing their absorption rate. And how we are going to do that, I'll quickly let you know in a few slides. But before that, what does eating for two mean? What does eating for two mean? Everybody must have said, tell me who has heard this phrase, now you're eating for two. Who has heard this phrase, now that you're pregnant, you're eating for two. Eat one more roti, now you're eating for two. Eat one more idli, eat one more bhakri, had something more, now you're eating for two. How many have heard this? Eating for two, right? So now that you're eating for two, you should do this and you should do that. But the fact is, eating for two doesn't mean eating twice as much. It means being twice as careful about what you're eating, right? Because whatever you are eating is, yeah, exactly. Everybody in our household does this, that, now that you are pregnant, you have to eat. It's not that you have to eat for two. What you need to do is make sure that you are eating for twice as carefully for your child as you can. Now the thing is, another thing that happened, let me share a very quick example. So I had hypothyroidism. So I was around 60 kgs when I got to know that I was pregnant with my first child. And before then, I didn't really bother to take care of my weight. And, I'm a lazy person. I was a lazy person. Now I train 5 days a week with my trainer. But then back then I was a lazy person. And now why am I training now is only because I see my kids and I just want to set the right example for them, that you should work on your body as much as you work on your mind, right? So back then there was no such stimulation. After marriage, it's like I'm married, what to do? Why do I need that much, right? So that was what my perception was basically. So what I did was I was 60, and then in the first pregnancy, I gained almost 20 kgs, right? So I was huge, huge. So one of my friends came in to see me. I was in my second trimester, almost entering my third. And he said that, Parul, you look like a JCB truck. Believe me, you are just looking like a JCB truck. I'm just 5'1", guys, right? And I have a petite, I'm an average body build. So I completely looked round during my pregnancy. I was just a big ball. And he was like, he made so much fun of me. At that point in time, I couldn't react. And I was like, okay. And I just laughed it away. But later on, it really hurt me. It really hurt me very, very bad. Why? Because he was talking about my body, a body which is nourishing a baby. Why would somebody talk about my body like that? Who gave them the right to do so? Right? But most of us, we go through this. Somebody makes fun of us just because we are tall, we are small, we are fat, we are thin, whatsoever. They make fun of us. So during pregnancy, these emotions that we feel, somebody said something and then I'm feeling sad about it, the same emotions can be felt by our child. So the first thing is having a strong mindset. And fat is actually fabulous. It's fabulous because you have that power to create a life. Nobody else has that power. They are not going through all that morning sickness, and they are not going through all these scans and doctor's visits and taking care of, making sure you're walking 6,000, 8,000 steps a day. They don't have to manage all that. You have to, and you're doing a wonderful job of it. So the thing is, fat is basically fabulous and big is absolutely beautiful. Why is it beautiful? Because whatever you are eating, whatever you are having at this point in time, it's nourishing your child. The baby is growing every minute. It's kicking you, it's returning its love back to you. So basically, big is beautiful. So if somebody says that, you're looking so big, you're going to have a boy. You're looking so small, you might be having a child, girl child, or something else, because this is huge, guys. This is absolutely huge, that you're going to have a girl child or a boy child just by looking at you. They're better than those ultrasound scans, I guess, whatever. They think they have the superpower, but I don't believe in that superpower. I believed in what you feel. During my first pregnancy, everyone said I was going to have a boy, and then I had a girl, and I knew throughout that I'm going to have a girl baby because I wanted a girl child, and that's about it. You can't really know, especially in our country, considering we live in the land of whatever goddesses, and then we kill the female child. I hope everything changes with time, with our generation, with our kids. But then for now, we do not have an option to know the gender of the baby. Then during my first trimester, have you heard this during your first trimester that, you're getting really lazy? What is it? You're just pregnant. Why are you lying all the time? Or maybe you have that fatigue and somehow everybody was like, it's okay, just get up, keep moving, or else you'll have a C-section. Just keep moving. Have you heard all that? That why are you behaving like this? Why are you lazy? Or just it हमारे time पे तो हम ऐसा कर लेते थे. Have you heard that? हमारे time में तो हम सारा काम करते थे. We used to do all the work, and then also we were able to birth the baby. Yeah, exactly. But then the thing is, lazy is because you are giving a life to a baby. It's not basically lazy. It's giving life to your child. And all that lazy is coming from your body working over hard to make sure that it fuels your baby with love and nourishment. Okay. So be proud of yourself, your body, and everything that's going on. Your stretch marks are actually tiger stripes. Own it and just face the world. Okay, don't let anybody tell you otherwise. So that is one thing that I definitely wanted to say today. The other thing is, where does all the weight go? So what is this whole dilemma of weight gain, weight loss, and eating and not eating during pregnancy? So one very interesting thing I'll tell you is that during middle centuries in England, what happened was that the doctors and everybody was prescribing women to eat less during pregnancy. And why was that? Because during that time, rickets was very common, and the pelvis area of the women was shrinking due to rickets. Right? So then the doctors were advising, because they did not have the facility of having a C-section, and the C-section was not that rampant at that time. So everybody was like, eat less so the baby is smaller and is able to pass through your vaginal canal or your birth canal. So that idea somehow transformed through ages, that you have to eat a diet, eat in a right manner so that your baby is not that big that it cannot pass through the birth canal. People have birthed 6 pound worth of babies, right? And they have birthed it naturally. So the thing is that it's absolutely normal and it's absolutely okay. Your thing that you have, the beautiful thing which you give birth to your baby, it has an elastic capacity of anything. You have no idea what you're capable of. It will expand enough to accommodate your child. You just have to believe in its power to be able to birth. That's one thing. The other thing is, usual weight gain that you have during pregnancy is 10 to 12.5 kgs. Like, this is what you gain. And if in case you're having twins, you gain up to 24 kgs. Now, with this, whether you should start gaining 10, some women are good with even 6 kgs of weight gain, right? Why? Because if in case they are obese already, if they're already overweight, I think 6 kgs or 7 kgs is something that should be able to help them out. Now, you need to understand what is the baseline. For that, you need to calculate the BMI and everything. We can get into that later, not a problem. But then there is something that we gain during pregnancy, and there is something that we lose during breastfeeding, right? So energies that are stored during pregnancy is lost during breastfeeding cycle. So everybody says that you burn 500 calories a day while you're breastfeeding. So it's okay to eat anything and everything that you want. I'll debunk that myth for you in a while. So where does all that weight go? What are you gaining? The baby is approximately 3.3 kgs once it's born. Placenta is 0.7 kg. Placenta is something that is nourishing your baby. Then there is amniotic fluid. It's 0.8 kg. So baby placenta and amniotic fluid is gone the moment it's born. The baby is born, right? Because placenta is out of you, baby is out of you, and amniotic fluid is out of you. The other 2/3 of extra weight is due to the changes that happen to your body while you're pregnant. On an average, which is an enlarged uterus, which goes back into its shape around 4 to 6 weeks. And then extra blood and fluids, which takes approximately a week to get back to normal. And that is when your baby blues also come back to a little better, so that all the hormones start getting stabilized. Then your breasts are a 0.4 kgs, and they are a milk making machine by then. Once the baby is born, and they help you to the breasts help you nourish the child, on and on. So that is a process. That's a demand and supply process, and that keeps happening. Then there is some stored fat that is kept specifically for breastfeeding, because body needs extra fat to make sure, it's our body's way of making sure that we are sustaining, but we can also sustain our child. So that's what body does. So basically, most of the weight that you've gained is already gone by the time the baby is born, and between 6 to 8 weeks. If you see, most of it is gone. And a lot of it would also keep shedding throughout your breastfeeding journey, because you burn 500 calories a day. Then why do we struggle to lose weight? Because what matters is the type of weight gain. What is the weight gain that you're having? I mean, what are you eating that's giving you all that weight? So how to understand that is by knowing why should you bother about it, the diet part and everything. Why exactly should you bother? Because good diet is beneficial to both moms and babies. For moms, you will have fewer cravings if in case you have a balanced diet, as plain and simple. So you would not crave that donut if in case you're already fulfilling your needs of your body. The second thing is you are very less likely to develop any complications. Yeah, I'm sure you will agree that if in case you're eating right, if you're taking care of yourself, the complications, you know what, if you eat just by taking calcium of, 1000 mg throughout your pregnancy, it reduces your chances of getting preeclampsia by almost 60 to 70%. So you can actually avoid, and if in case you have a balanced diet, there's no way that you'll get gestational diabetes. And even if you have it, diet is the proven way to actually manage it. You will be able to manage it without any troubles, and then it might not even come back to you again, even if it is genetic, right? Only diet can help you with that. Then premature birth, if you're eating right, premature birth can be avoided. And then the slow weight gain of the baby. So last week, I had a call. One of my very close friends was almost 30 weeks pregnant, around 30 weeks pregnant. She went to her doctors, and the doctor said that the baby is not growing well. The baby is not growing up to the optimum mark that it should at this stage, and there is growth retardation. What to do now? So she had a word with me. I spoke to her and I asked her, what is she eating? Like generally, what is her diet like? So I scanned everything and I asked her what was her pre-pregnancy weight. She checked her doctor's prescriptions and everything. She gave me her pre-pregnancy weight. I took her current weight. The thing is, weight gain was pretty much normal for her. But the doctor was like, okay, you have gained almost 7 to 8 kgs by now, but why is the baby not growing? Because she was not having enough protein in her diet. So if you're not having enough protein and if you're not eating right, then the nutrients are not reaching to diet. So I prescribed her a high protein diet, and the doctor also gave her those sachets. I'm sure if you are in your second trimester or if you've had a child earlier, and if the doctor sees during 7th month, if they say that the baby is not growing the way it should be, they either ask you to have a protein powder or they give you these small sachets which are like orange flavored. I don't know what it's. I don't remember what it had during my time, during the first pregnancy that I had. But these are actually to stimulate growth for the baby, and they are majorly either omega-3 or protein supplementation. So that is what we get. And they are very right on their part to give it to you, because ultimately, you're not really taking care of your diet by then because you're not aware, as simple as that. Then the common troubles that you have, morning sickness and all those stuff, constipation and all that, fatigue, heartburn, it can also be reduced to a very huge level through your diet, and you can really manage it. And then the last is obviously the labor is easier if in case your BMI is lower, and also your weight loss gets better. So what is it for my baby? Like, you know what? I'm a part of a lot of Facebook groups who are mom and pregnancy and baby childbirth kind of groups, and I keep answering a lot of women just out of my curiosity that to understand what's going on. And one day I posted a question over there, and the question was, if in case you had to imagine or get, there was one fantasy during your childbirth or your pregnancy, what would that fantasy be? What exactly do you want at this point in time as a pregnant lady? Everybody had one specific answer, which is having a healthy baby. That's what everybody wanted. And that's why, which was like, okay, yes, you want a healthy baby. The next question I asked, what exactly do you know about having a healthy baby? How will you have a healthy baby? And the answer I got was, I don't know. I have no idea. Should I do something extra to have a healthy baby? So stuff like that was the answer. And that is only on the Indian groups that I have been a part of. Somehow, we were the one to create natural birthing. We were the one who were into it. We were the one into Ayurveda. We were the one into nutrition and all that. And somehow the other people have adopted it really well, that I have to take my certification from US, and our own country has forgotten so much about it. I mean, what a shame, honestly. Now, if you want your baby to have a healthier weight at birth, that is what will help you. Good nutrition will help you there. Then less likely complications, obviously. And then if you think that, like my son had teeth very late, like he was already 14 months done, then we saw his first teeth. Why was that? Because during my pregnancies, both the pregnancies were so close that my calcium content was already depleted from my own body. Even if I took all the supplementation I could in the world, The body was not ready for it. It's just that it was my, what do you call it? I just didn't want to abort the child if it was already here. And I thought that that would be a sin. And that's why I went ahead and had it. Now, the thing is that is the reason I saw that developmental delay there. So all those developmental delays like late speech, late walking, and all those things, they are very much affected by whatever you are eating. So now I wanted to introduce, now I've already done a lot of bol vachan. Now Parul, tell me what is the real deal, how to do this, how exactly to do this. So during my certification from Dr. Sears Wellness Institute, I learned this very, very good, or you can say a great and simple and easy concept. One thing I can do is I can have like 4 or 5 sessions with you guys explaining proteins, carbohydrates, fats, and this and that, fiber, how to have, what to do, and make you a nutritionist, which I'm not sure everybody would like. But, or the other thing is I can give you a simple tool through which you can make sure that you're making informed choices about eating right during a pregnancy. So that tool is going to be traffic light eating, right? So this is the simplest method of eating healthy. So how many of us know about traffic lights? Say, give me a yes or no. Do you know what a traffic light is? I'm sure you must be aware of it, but just give me a yes to humor me and say, yes, Parul, I know what a damn traffic light is. Now tell me how to do this. So, okay, next question. Do you know what green light means? Okay, yellow is wait, red is wait, yellow is wait. Okay, green light is go, right? Green light is go, red is wait, yellow is just prepare yourself, and green is absolutely go. So there are green light foods, yellow light foods, and red light foods, right? So what are green light foods? The green light foods are going to be foods which are grown and not manufactured. So whenever you come across something, you want to see whether I can have it or not. Green light food is you can have it as much as you want. So there is no restriction at all. You can have as much green light food as you want. I will not give any restriction on this. The only conditions you need to make sure that it's following is that it's grown, not manufactured. It's not coming out of packets. Okay, it's low in calories. So even if it is grown and it's very much high in calories, dense, calorie rich, then obviously you should put some restraint. But it should be high in nutrients. So the moment maximum grown food that you will see, it will always be high in nutrients. Okay, it should be very colorful. So the brighter the food is, when you look at it, you go to the vegetable market. How many of us are buying vegetables? I think these days either Big Baskets or Grocers is doing the honors for us, or somebody else is going out. We being pregnant, I mean, you guys being pregnant, you cannot go out, and I am just making sure I don't go out because I'm still breastfeeding my baby. So when we used to go out, that golden time, what was the basis of buying fruits and vegetables? I'm giving you a new basis to buy the fruits and vegetables. Buy the most bright colored ones. Now I know in the market people are coloring the fruits and vegetables too. You have to exercise caution there and understand what's going on. But bright colored food are more rich in antioxidants. So red bell pepper, yellow bell pepper, green bell pepper, all those bright colors, brinjal, all that is very rich in antioxidants. So you need to aim to have that. Then green light foods can usually be eaten raw, right? So you're getting my point? These are your green light foods. Understood? Any confusion? Any questions? Any confusions? Any questions about green light foods? I don't think so you would have any. But if at all you come across any confusions or questions, you can always ask me. Great. The next is going to be yellow light foods. So what does yellow light mean? Ruke, ठहरे, देखें, दाहिने बाएं और फिर आगे, right? So slow down, maybe red light होने वाली है, धीरे हो जाए. So basically slow down foods, they are okay to eat every day, but in moderation. So you can have them every day, but Sneha, it includes vegetables and fruits both. Green light foods include both. You need to slow down and you need to eat every day, but only in moderation. Okay. So what are yellow light foods? They have more calories than green light foods. They usually have more fat and sugar than green light foods. So give me some examples of some yellow light foods. Come on, guys. Give me some examples of some yellow light foods. I'll share a list with you, don't worry, so that you don't have to struggle a lot. Roti, rice, bread, yes. Bread from puja now on should be whole wheat bread always. Cheese, good job. Wow. You guys are already champ here. I guess pregnancy makes us a champ, I think. Okay, so examples of your yellow light food are whole wheat chapati or multigrain chapati is what I would encourage. Now, a pro tip, a nutritionist tip right here coming your way. Try and rotate your flour, as in nachni, ragi, jowar, bajra, whatever, all that fancy things that our ancestors used to have. Now that they've become fancy, we need to have all that on rotational basis. It really helps with your gut health and it really helps you absorb more nutrients. Okay, and then multigrain is also an option. And if at all possible, get your flour from an atta chakki nearby rather than having that packaged stuff. Somehow I feel it's too fine and I don't know, the texture is too fine and somehow I feel the atta chakki looks more relatable to me. Then there's rice. Then rice, normal rice should be fine. You can also have brown if you want. Idlis, dosas, eggs, lean red meat, chicken, nuts and seeds, olive oil. I think I ate the O there. I was too hungry, I guess. Yeah, olive oil, coconut oil, ghee, soya foods, fresh cheese. You need to avoid soft cheese during pregnancy. Okay? Greek yogurt. So all these things come under yellow light food. So yes, you can have them, but in moderation. So whenever you come across these foods, you have to make sure that you're eating them in moderation. Okay, the next is going to be red light foods. Amazing, red light. So red light foods are what? These are the foods that you need to stop and think about an alternative or choose a smaller portion. So whenever you crave red light foods, you simply need to stop and think if you can create an alternative or if something else can be replaced in this. I'm craving for a donut, but can I have something healthier instead? Or if I'm craving for a donut, can I just have half of it? Something like that should be your line of thought when you are in face to face with red light foods, because they are very low in nutrients. They give you extra calories, which are not really useful for the body, and they just get stored in form of fat. So that's all excess. Then it may also contain hydrogenated oils. So something that I would really want you to warn you about is the hydrogenated oils. You need to stay away from them as far away as possible. You might be able to not understand the implication, but this is huge. Hydrogenated oils are something that keeps food preserved for a longer time. So all these fries and chips that you get in the market, all packed ones, there are different names: hydrogenated oils, trans fat, partially or semi-hydrogenated, and stuff like that. Just simply avoid that word because those are processed oils and are not good for your health. I'll tell you what oils to eat in a bit. These are high in fats, these are high in sugar, and they may have artificial sweeteners, which are absolutely no. So you need to avoid the red light food, and you need to stop and think, even if you're craving for it. Okay. Was this easy to follow? Green, yellow, and red? Because this is elementary and you've learned this forever, and this won't be a problem at all. I hope it doesn't. Now, if you get confused that, Parul, I'm not sure whether this will come under yellow or green, you can always message me. I'll let you know. Where does it fall? Okay. Great. Now, the other thing is, what should be your daily calorie intake trimester-wise? So ideally, first trimester, you don't need any extra calories, but first trimester should be the time that you should try to eat as nutrient dense food as possible. Now I know throwing up comes into picture, so I'll give you my story now that I am the speaker, so I get that right. During my first trimester, I was with my daughter. I was only eating 3 things: banana, apple, and coconut water. Just these 3 things. I lost 5 kgs. Now, that was my body's mechanism to make sure that I lose some excess weight before I turn into second trimester, because then it would have been very difficult for my own body. So I gained a decent weight, like 55 kgs to begin with my pregnancy. And then all that soulful eating that I did, not so soulful, I would say, made me gain approximately 18 to 20 kgs. So my body actually tried to protect me from that, but then I didn't listen to it at that point in time. Now you tell me in the comment box, what was your experience of your first trimester? Those of you who've been through that amazing, beautiful phase of puking up, even at your husband's, fragrance of your husband's deodorant, because I was one to do that. How was your first trimester? Like, were you able to eat properly, or was it difficult? How was it? Just give me a gist. Yeah, you had severe erosion moments. Yeah, I get it. I can feel you, girl. Just terrible puking all the time. Yeah. High five on that. So basically, we don't even need those extra calories during that time. So our body, if in case you're having nausea, vomiting and stuff like that, what we need to do is go for green light foods, if possible, as much as possible. Completely avoid red light foods during first trimester. We shouldn't have it at all, because that will increase your nausea and cravings and all those things. It will increase them. And then make sure we are having the yellow light food in a very proportionate manner. So my body didn't let me have, even now I have acid reflux problem. Yes, I know. It's terrible. So I'll tell you something for your acid reflux, don't worry. So the thing is that with pregnancy, we should always trust our bodies. So whatever happens in your first trimester, it's okay. But from the second trimester, now that your body is ready to absorb the nutrients, you must make sure you're having between 300 to 500 calories, right? That is your second and third trimester goal. 300 to 500 extra, okay? This is what you need extra. So eating for two, no, just 300 and 500 extra, that's it. So total calories would come around 2100 to 2500 calories according to your body type. So now these days, why am I sharing all these metrics is because these days we are very smart. We have all these apps on our phones to know how many calories are we eating. So this is just a guideline. If in case you're following such an app, to eat healthy, stay clean, this is what you can keep in mind. Now you need 25 grams of extra protein every day. Okay, so now comes the everyday part. So 25 grams of extra protein. So your daily protein intake should be at least 100 grams. Your daily calcium intake should be at least 1400 to 1600 grams, like 800 mg of extra calcium. The thing is, you can do without the supplementation also if you eat right. You might not need a calcium supplementation if you're able to eat the right amount of calcium, and you might need a lower dosage if you're having sufficient calcium in the diet. Now, 400 mg of extra folic acid or folate. This is something that I advise even before you get pregnant, and a lot of doctors would prescribe you, because folic acid has been known to avoid the birth neural tube defects, which has to be taken very early in the pregnancy. So this will really help you make sure that your baby is healthy from the beginning itself. So make sure you have this. Then total 600 to 800 mcg is what you will need on a daily basis. 12 mg of extra iron. So iron is pretty much funny, guys. Iron is very, very funny. Why is iron funny? Is because whatever you take, however iron you take, it won't get completely absorbed into your body. Only elemental iron is what gets absorbed into your body. Now, iron will make you very pukish. It will also make you bloated, and then your stool would also change the color. Suddenly you would feel, what the hell, everything was nice. What did I eat? I didn't eat anything black. And why the output that I'm having is completely black or dark in color is because of your iron supplementation. So iron does a lot of weird things to our body. The other thing is that if in case your hemoglobin is normal, then only 12 mg extra iron is what you need, like than normal, to support your blood flow and the overall blood volume. My tip would be to make sure that you're having something rich in vitamin C while you are taking your iron tablets, or you're taking your iron of the day, maybe through spinach or anything. Why would I suggest that? Is because if you take vitamin C with iron, then the absorption rate is increased. So your body will absorb it more. You will feel less queasy and all that. If you're on calcium and iron supplementation both, Make sure your calcium supplementation is far away from your iron supplementation, at least 2 to 3 hours gap. Why? Because calcium inhibits the absorption of iron. So in the during meal times, maybe if you're having your palak and everything, and then you have a glass of milk, that's a big no. Why? Because that glass of milk will not let the iron in the palak be consumed into your body. So that is something that you need to take care of. The other thing is omega-3. So everybody wants to have a brilliant baby, right? I wanted to have a brilliant child. You want to have a brilliant child. You want to have a child who would, start walking at 9, 10 months, start speaking at 11, 12, 16 months and so. And you would want the baby to pass every pincer test and this test and that test, whatever is going on these days. And I'm seeing a lot of mom bloggers, putting every developmental milestone of their child, which is absolutely awesome, but sometimes it puts a pressure on me as well, being very honest. But then, yeah, you really want all that. And when you want all that, you must make sure that you're having omega-3s. Now, omega-3 is basically, you must have heard the word DHA. You've heard the word DHA, right? I'm sure. All these Complan, Protein-X and whatever brands, Horlicks are there, they are pushing this DHA into your brain that, you want your child to be brilliant, let him have DHA. So basically, what is DHA? DHA is your omega-3. Now, if you're a vegetarian, then your choices or options to have omega-3 are a little reduced because very less like flaxseed oil and flax seeds would have walnut, flaxseed would have omega-3, but it would not be that much that, it will help you have 500 to, a total of 1000 EPA or DHA. So basically, vegetarian omega-3 has ALA. Then this ALA gets converted into EPA and DHA in our body converts it. But even if you have a flaxseed on a daily basis, it might not be enough. So my suggestion would be to include some other sources of omega-3, which could be supplement tablets or a fish oil tablet, something like that, which will make sure that you're on top of your omega-3 so that DHA reaches your baby and the brain development is absolutely awesome for your child. Okay, that you can do. Now, if in case you're pregnant with twins, then you need to have just 250 calories extra and extra 25 grams of protein and some more folate and iron. That's what you need. Now the question is, Parul, you said 300 to 500 calories extra every day. But what does that mean? What do I get to eat in that? So basically 150 grams of fish would be equal to around 450 calories. 3 O's of trail mix, like just 3, even if you do this mutti, 3 mutti of trail mix, cashew, badam and everything, that will be 300 to 500 calories. 2 cups of dahi, big one, that is also 300 to 500 calories. 1 cup of rava kupma or 1 cup of oats khichdi is equal to 300 and 500 calories. So whatever you are having 3 times a day, just make it 6 times a day and include some calories between your lunch and your dinner and breakfast and your lunch, and you're all set. There's nothing that you need to really put effort on and have extra. Now the question is what we must absolutely avoid during pregnancy. Like what we must absolutely avoid, and how would I know what I need to avoid? Papaya and all those things. I've heard so much about all that, but believe me, papaya is not really harmful during pregnancy. Neither is pineapple, right? But they do have some uterine contraction properties, but so does a brinjal. Okay. Now the thing is, if you're having 3 papayas a day or 2 pineapples a day, yes, it will definitely have a bad impact on you. But just this much won't really have that much of an impact. Okay, that is one thing. The second thing is what is much more important than those papayas and pineapples are these things which are hidden in our food items and are actually detrimental to us and our child. How many of you know about all these? Like how many of these do you recognize? Hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated oils. Now, how would you know that your food has this? By looking at the nutrient label. So nutrient label, you will see anything with numbers you should avoid. So there'll be a lot of weird numbers over there. Artificial substance flavors added, this weird numbers. Say no. Okay, you're not having that. MSG, you're not having that. So outside Chinese, please don't have. Ajinomoto, please don't have. I request. any artificial sweetener, even if you have gestational diabetes, try having khajur powder instead. If you want to add some sweets to your food and meal, and you have gestational diabetes and your doctor has said that you cannot have sweets, use khajur powder, dry dates powder, that is, and you can use alternative sources like coconut sugar. You can try that, but avoid artificial sweeteners, avoid MSG, avoid hydrolyzed vegetable protein. So all these processed meats that you get, salamis, hot dogs, and all that, if you're into all that, stop having it immediately, because all these have hydrolyzed vegetable protein. So most of the time, there is not enough research what this does to a child, and whatever research is, it talks very ill about it. So we don't really, now if you've already had any of this, don't be scared. It's fine. Even I had it. I had no idea. I think a lot of women have it without knowing, unknowingly. But now that you know, be cautious that, you're not going to have these things which have all these ingredients. Now, BHA, you shouldn't have. It's available in these cereals, you get these oats, mueslis and all that. Sometimes BHA is in them. Chewing gum has BHA. Then there is this SL-PAM. I would suggest take a screenshot of this just to remember. SL-PAM potassium, soft drinks, protein shakes, and even your Starbucks coffee could have it. Okay, BHT is something that's found in cosmetics. This is a very big no-no. So during pregnancy, any which ways, be aware of what you are putting on your skin, lips, because our skin also absorbs everything. But BHT is something that you should avoid. Potassium bromate is found in a lot of bakery products. So anything that has a shelf life, try and avoid that. Okay. Sodium nitrates and nitrites is in processed meats. So all those bolognese and salamis and all that, just try and avoid that. Even if you're into chicken and mutton, if you're a non-vegetarian, which is awesome, by the way, please make sure you're having fresh stuff. These days, if you can avoid because of COVID, it's absolutely fine. But whenever you're having it, have fresh. Propyl gallate, cosmetic, hair products, lubricants. So all these have propyl gallate. Sodium benzoate, by the name E211. Why I did mention this number is because most of the manufacturers, they put just E211. It's basically a preservative. So anything that has this, you shouldn't have. Then artificial coloring. So basically, if you've understood this, you simply need to try and avoid packaged items. Okay. Now is the time to give you some nutrition tips, what you're here for. The number one thing is you can eliminate 90% of junk food by avoiding these. So anything with a number on the prescription or on the bottle or the packet, anything with a number, avoid that. Anything which says it has high fructose corn syrup, avoid that. Anything which says it has hydrogenated oil, trans fat, partially hydrogenated, stuff like that, avoid that. Number thing is start having flaxseed and flaxseed oil. After the session, I'll share a flaxseed chutney recipe. So there's this flaxseed powder that you can make, and you can simply add it to 2 spoons of it to your warm rice and add a spoon of ghee and have it. That is very tasty, it's yummy, and it's very nutritious. I have it daily. I make my kids have it daily. So have it maybe because, raw flaxseed or roasted flaxseed, it doesn't taste very well. It doesn't taste very good. But then this is something that you can have. Must have during pregnancy for omega-3, and you can also have fish oil capsules. Another thing is go organic and eat clean. I know organic is expensive. These days, I see that the expensive thing is also very much reducing. We have very good offers on organic food and products as well. But at least during your pregnancy and your breastfeeding journey, try and have organic and clean food. Why is that so? Because all the pesticides and the environmental clutter that goes into bringing that food to us, even the plastic that it's in, it has a lot of impact on it. And that is an unseen impact. We can't really see it from our naked eyes, but our bodies know it, right? We are the generation who is most affected by hypothyroidism, PCOS, PCOD, irregular periods, painful periods, endometriosis, and whatnot. Because reproductive organs are the most fragile organs of a woman's body, and men simply don't have it, right? So basically, reproductive organs are really fragile, and because of that, the biggest impact of the environmental pollutants that happens is on our reproductive organs, and that is the reason our hormones get messed up. So yeah, if you want to blame your PMS once you get back to normal, you can blame it to whatever is happening around you, but still try eating clean and healthy foods. Okay. The next thing is, am I going too fast? Is it okay? Are you guys able to understand? Give me a yes, no, hi. Parul, I'm here. Parul, I'm not. You guys are here, right? Good going. It's fine. Okay. Not too fast. Fine. Thank you so much. Thank you. Love you guys. Now, the other thing is, you need to give yourself an oil change. So our cars go for servicing, oil change, right? So yeah, you need to give an oil change to yourself, similar kind of oil change. You would really want to eat these oils: flaxseed oil, fish oil, nut oil, olive oil, virgin coconut oil, ghee, homemade. That would be preferable. And stop having canola oil, corn oil, rice bran oil, cottonseed oil, soybean oil, trans fat. So all those fancy oils that are coming in the market, try not having that, especially during your pregnancy and breastfeeding journey. Stop having those oils and change to these oils. Especially 1 or 2 spoons of flaxseed oil will do wonder for you. Fish oils, definitely you should have those in capsule. Nut oil is like, if you want to have coconut oil while cooking, make sure you're getting extra virgin coconut oil. It's just 9 months, guys, but if you do this oil change, you will see a lot of improvement during your postpartum phase. So what happens is, during postpartum, the biggest inhibitor or the biggest problem that we have as our body is our hormones that has to go back into its original place during postpartum. And what hampers the most is the vegetable oils, as in the sense the oils that we are eating on a regular basis, sapola and all that, whatever we are eating, right? The normal regular market oils, refined oils, they have a very bad impact on our hormones. Okay. But the more natural oils that they are, homemade ghee, virgin coconut oil, olive oil, first of all, they do not have a very big impact in terms of weight gain because they are good oils, good fats. That is one thing. The second thing is, your postpartum journey will be a lot easier if you switch to these oils, because from now onwards, your body will be thankful towards you and the hormones will be in place in a better manner. Then I've gotten questions about perineal massage. So this is a little off topic, but let me tell you. So when you enter your 8th month, you can also apply some virgin coconut oil or sesame oil to your vagina and give yourself a perineal massage. If you do that, first is your blood circulation improves in that area. Now, there's a specific way to do that. If you want to know, type in the chat box or give me a message. Otherwise, I'll send you a link how to do that. And when you do that, the chances of you getting a tear is very less, because because any which ways I'll take another session of pain coping mechanism during labor and how to avoid episiotomy and how to not get tear during childbirth, right? So this is a part of that. So you can use your virgin coconut oil and sesame oil to massage your perineum as well, so that it stretches really well. The other tip that I would like to give you is start having shatavari powder if you're in your 8th month of pregnancy. That will make sure that your milk supply is not at all a challenge. Okay? So it's a galactagogue. It helps you build milk for the baby. So start having shatavari. It's better to prepare beforehand rather than getting too late and then struggling with breastfeeding. Okay. Now, pregnancy cravings and what that means. Your biggest pregnancy craving. Share. Come on. I'll share mine. Mine was having bati chokha. I don't know. And if you, a lot of you are from Mumbai, so vada pav people. But yeah, bati chokha, it's majorly a Bihari dish, but in UP also, in Lucknow also. I'm originally from Lucknow, so I loved it, and that too from a very specific shop. So while you are typing in that what is your pregnancy craving, the biggest one, I'll let you know what happened with mine. So I was craving bati chokha, and I asked my husband that, what, would it just get me a bati chokha? I don't care whatever you do, but just get me. So basically, I was more craving for that chutney that they give, tomato, linseed, garlic chutney. It's awesome, burnt tomato and all that. So I was like, "Okay, I want to have that." And I asked my husband to get it. So he, being naive as men are, he went ahead and went out and got me bati chokha. Now the thing is that bati chokha was not from the specific shop that I eat. So I wanted only that bati chokha from that particular shop, and I wanted it stacked, like right now. The moment I saw the bati chokha he had brought me, I cried like anything. I cried. I was in super tears. I was like, "Oh my God, what the hell? What did you do? You ruined my life." It was like that. And he got so angry and pissed off. He's like, "What the hell do you mean? You're not like this. Why are you behaving like this?" I said, "I'm pregnant. Get me bati chokha." And then finally, he went out and he got me that bati chokha. And then he wiped my tears off. And then he fed me that. And he was like, "Oh my God, I know this must be so hard on you." I said, "Yes, it's pretty much difficult. I'm making a human being." So yeah, Ankita says it was ice cream. Great. As of now, no cravings. Puja, which means that you're having a good balanced diet most of the times. Yeah, and some people don't have cravings also, so which is also normal. I wanted to eat bestest rice I had once in mainland China, Mumbai. I know that feeling, that feeling, Snehal, when you just want to have that one particular thing that you had at one particular time. How does body works like that is very mysterious. Yeah. So now that we know what our pregnancy cravings were and we are reminded of them, let's just see what it means. So this is by Dr. Jockers, and he's very good. He's created a whole blog. And I thought, let's just borrow some insight from him. It says that the 5 major food cravings are like this. Salt. If you're craving salt, you need some trace minerals. Okay. If you're craving sweet, you need chromium. If you're needing chocolate, you need magnesium. If you're craving dairy, you need essential fatty acids. And if you're craving red meat, you need iron or B12. Okay. How do you get all this? By simply eating what you're craving. But then what is it that comes in the way that you're craving that exact thing, which might be good to eat, which might not be. So if you're craving an ice cream, my suggestion would be take some mangoes, scoop them out, mix them with a little milk, then put it into your freezer, and that's your ice cream. Have it whenever you want. Okay. So try and figure out natural and healthier ways of having whatever you are craving. Once in a while, if you indulge, it's absolutely fine, guys. I mean, nobody is going to question that. But don't get overboard with it. Or you can say, don't just forget all about it and have that feeling that, I have a license. Now, I felt like that during my first pregnancy. I have a license now. I can eat anything I want. At least I'm pregnant anyway, so I'm going to gain a lot of weight. And that led me to a lot of huge complications. So yeah, don't avoid that and just don't go overboard with it. Now, the other thing is mindful eating. So this concept is very beautiful. This concept is something that I practice daily now with me and my kids also. And it has some tips and tricks that I have to share. What I do, I'm sharing exactly that. And that really helps me. Yeah, the first thing is that I follow Dr. Sear's rule of 2s, which is eat twice as often. So ideally, our meals are 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, dinner. He suggests having meals 6 times a day. So having the same amount of food, but 6 times a day, it helps a lot. It helps a lot. It helps having this energy throughout the day. It helps your gut system. So it really helps. The rule of 2. Eat half as much. So however hungry you're feeling, like right now you're feeling very hungry. However hungry you're feeling, just put half of it on your plate and start with that. And then if you feel more hungry, then you can refill. That's okay. But start with half. Then chew twice as long. So whatever your current chewing speed is, chew twice as long. And you will see the benefits. You will see that glow on your face. You will see better hair. You will see longer nails. Now that any which is, pregnancy has these perks to give you all this. But even post-pregnancy, you will see all this if you follow this. This is like gold. Okay. The other thing that you should do is no TV or food while eating. Like, it's a complete no. So basically, a mother is what? Who is a mother? What does a mother mean to you? Mother is somebody who creates and nourishes. Right? I think that's the most basic, simple definition of being a mother. Mother is somebody who creates and nourishes. So while the mother is nourishing the baby, like while she's breastfeeding or while she's feeding the child or while she's feeding herself to feed the child, what should her mindset be? Where should she be engrossed? Whether should be watching some news or some new recipes to cook or talking to people mindlessly about, just your things, or would she actually focus inwards? Should she focus on the child who's growing inside her and just talking to the baby and telling the baby that, I'm having this strawberry. How does it taste to you? Is it yummy? Do you want more, little one? Do you want some more? So if you have these kind of conversations, just give me a minute, guys. Excuse me, I think I've spoken a lot. Just a second. Don't forget hydration. You should have at least 6 to 8 glasses of water every day during the pregnancy. Yeah, so I was saying that if in case you're talking to your child in a mindful manner, especially when you're nourishing your child, when you're eating yourself, when you're breastfeeding your baby, if you have those beautiful conversations with your child, then the moment your child is born, you won't have any difficulty bonding with the baby. Why? Because when I talk to women about mindful talking to their child or having their sanskar or listening during my childbirth education classes, I usually give them activities and homework. Some of them are very natural at it, are able to talk to their children very nicely, to their babies, and they even write diaries on it. But some of them face it very difficult to how to, I don't know, I haven't even seen the baby boy. Why should I talk to the baby, or how should I talk to the baby? Now the thing is, this exercise makes it very easy. Why? Because you know that you are nourishing the baby, and it's very easy for you to talk to and connect to the baby while you're eating. So 6 times a day, if you're talking to your inner child, if you're talking to your baby, if you're connected with your baby, your emotions and thoughts are directed to your child. And even if your doctor says that there's some growth retardation, there is some problem with the child, or some plus minus is happening, and if you're connecting with the baby and you're checking with the baby that, are you healthy? Are you doing good? How I know you're absolutely fine. Eat this, you will get better. Eat that, you will get better. That is what mothers do, right? My mother does it even today. I had fever a few days back. Everybody was scared, like everybody is, that maybe this is COVID and all. But what she did was, what? Eat this. This will make you feel good. Eat that. This will make you feel good. And it does, right? It does makes us feel good when our mothers tell us that, this is something that will help you. Just have this. Even during my pregnancy, my mother was like, after my pregnancy, I was very weak. So my mother was like, have this kadha, shira, whatever she was making, have this, you will feel good. And eventually I felt good. Now the question is, why can't we dig in from the moment it's beginning and be that nurturer for our child? So stop your TV and all that. Give a minute to thank God. This will create a new habit that before having lunch, dinner, breakfast, anything that I'm eating, I'll thank God for a minute. I'll show gratitude for whatever is there in my plate. Now it's needed more than ever because we have those full plates. Most of them do not have, are struggling to have those full plates. So that is what I'm going to do. And that is what I'm going to teach my child from the womb itself. One good habit that you can give your baby is being thankful about whatever is the baby is receiving. Okay? And you can begin from today itself. The other thing that you need to do is connect with your baby while you are eating and breastfeeding. I hope this has given you good insights and good knowledge and good information. I would like to, we are almost at the end of the session, and I would like to share this recipe with you. I would want you to take a screenshot of this. So this is a recipe that has been shared by Dr. Sears, and I have had this during my second pregnancy, and believe me, I had more power. I was able to work throughout. Me and my husband own a cafe in Lucknow. So I was the one who built that cafe from ground up, interiors, design, software, systems, everything, during my pregnancy till the day my son was born. And I was able to do that without any troubles because I was eating right. The nutrients were right. I was taking good care of myself. I was exercising. Sorry to say, but I couldn't have my VBAC, which I absolutely wanted. But because the gap was just within a year, But even if you are a mom who is a second time mom and would like to have a vaginal delivery after a C-section, this might really help you. So 3 cups of milk or milk alternatives if you're lactose intolerant, 1.5 cups of yogurt, 1 banana, half avocado if available, 1 cup berries, any berry, strawberry, blueberry, any kind of berries, half cup of mixed fruits, your favorite ones, mango, banana, anything, your favorite fruits, papaya and all, everything should do. 4 tablespoons of flax seeds ground or 2 spoons of flaxseed oil, 100 grams of tofu or paneer, 1 tablespoon cinnamon, 1 serving of protein powder, 1 tablespoon peanut butter, optional, but it is a good addition and it adds to the flavor also. 1/4 cup of raisin, and if in case you have gestational diabetes, skip raisins, and 1 tablespoon of wheat germ oil. So wheat germ oil is also a very good source of omega-3 fatty acids, and it also improves your immunity and it boosts it. So try having this pregnancy aid smoothie every day. It will really help you, and it will give you all those extra calories that I talked about. It will give you those calories, and it will also make up for all the nutrients that I have talked about. Okay. So this is what I wanted to share. And one more thing that I wanted to give you a visual representation was how your plate should look like. Okay. So again, take a screenshot for this as well. This is from the Oregon Health and Science University. What they talk about is that this should be the ratio of what you're eating daily. Okay, so this much protein, this much carbohydrates, this is your protein, whole grains, legumes, and starchy vegetables are your carbs. Then there's fruits and non-starchy vegetables. And that should be your biggest portion. Remember the green light foods I talked about? These are your green light foods, and you can have unlimited. Then you have to have your milks and yogurt to have your calcium intake, and then your water intake. Okay. You have your olive oils and avocados if at all possible, and have natural oils to cook. Then you must make sure you choose a variety of whole foods. Okay, this is what you're going to go and have from now onwards. Now here is where I come into picture. I've already given you tools and equipments to understand what you can do, but if at all you're struggling with this, and if at all you would need some extra assistance to create a personalized diet counseling, diet plan, diet chart, and stuff like that, then I can help you study the reports. And maybe if there is something that I would suggest to tweak, or if you'd like me to have it address it, I can definitely do that for you. You can manage your gestational diabetes, stress, anxiety, everything through that, and then I can create a plan for you according to your need. And it's very affordable, guys. If you think that this is something you need, you can always get in touch with me and I'll help you. Lastly, a new baby is like the beginning of all the things. Wonder, hope, a dream of possibilities. So after this session, I hope you're able to understand that you are the one who can create this hope, wonder, dream of possibilities. And I am so glad that I could be just this bit in your journey, and I can help you, and I could just, be there for you whenever you need me. Thank you so much for attending this session. Now we are open for questions and answers. So if you have any questions, if you have any queries, please shoot right away. Or if you would like to speak to me one-on-one basis, let me know that as well. We can do that. No problems. Any questions? And another thing is, I would really highly appreciate if you would give me a decent feedback, like honestly and honest feedback, whatever it is, that in the WhatsApp group itself, so that I can help this knowledge reach more women out there, and I can assist them in their pregnancy journey. So anything that you guys want to share? Thank you so much. Pooja says thank you. Thank you so much, Pooja. Thank you for attending. Thank you for Snehal for giving me your time, and time is of most value to me. So thank you so much. I'm also doing another session on labyrinth of birth. That will also be a free session. That will be mostly about pain coping mechanism during delivery, and a labyrinth that we create as a meditative process to go through childbirth and labor, from birthing from within. So give me a heads up if you would like to attend, and I will hook you up with that. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. See you soon.